Everybody, today I'm going to be back with another interesting video. Instead of doing math today, I'm going to be showing you a different video on how drifting works. So, before we get started, what is it? So, drifting is basically getting your rear tires to spin a bit faster and counter steering. So, you have your normal RPMs like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go to, let's say, 9. So so sometimes people just get their RPMs really high and they drop them completely, which gets their rear tires to spin really, really fast. So this gets the back end to start loosely driving, and when you counter steer, your car is, let's say, facing to the left, your steering wheel to the right, so you're burning rubber on all 4 tires. So the methods of drifting, people use e-brakes, which go on the center console. So this is your center console, and they add a big long stick like this with dots and all that stuff, and this is the storage, and then this leads to the back seats and to the wheels. So there's a cable right underneath here. So when you pull on the e-brake backwards, what it does is these brake calipers right here. So this one's for the e-brake. This one on the left, right here. So when you pull on it, it will brake. It will stop your back wheels. This is the back of the car. So it'll stop your wheels from spinning, which will force your engine RPMs to lower down to a lower amount, like let's say 5,000 maybe, 2,000, depends on what car you have. And then when you release the e-brake, your engine will go back to normal, which will suddenly bounce it back to, so ours is max 9,000. So if you're redlining it, it will go back to 9,000. So then the wheels, it confuses it, and it starts spinning really, really fast because of how fast the engine is spinning. So this gets the back area to start loosely spinning around, and when you jerk the steering wheel left. Let's say you want to steer left, you jerk the steering wheel left, and then when you see your back end starting to go forward ahead, and then you jerk right. So this will cause your back end to take a smooth turn. So that's the e-brake method, which you pull it, and a cable leading to this brake caliper pushes against this disc, which causes the car to start steering. So another method that you can use, get rid of all of this, called clutch kicking. So when you're looking for a drift car, you always want to look for one that's a stick shift or a manual, and with the clutch, of course, because then those are easier to drift, and you can bounce on one set speed. So you can be on gear 1 and start drifting at slow if you want to go at slow speed, or you can stay at gear 3. Because some automatic cars might shift up when you don't want it to, which can mess up your drifting. So clutch kicking, let's say you have a Dodge Challenger, Dodge Hellcat, whichever one you have. So this is our gas, this is our brake, and this is our clutch. So let's say we have a big speedometer area. This is our 250, let's say it's going 250 miles per hour. This is our RPMs right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is how we know we're redlining it. That's our red line meter. And then this is our normal. So let's say we're driving, and we are at about 5,000 RPMs. and then all of a sudden when you press the clutch, it'll disengage the transmission from your engine. So the engine is the one that makes your drive train turn, and which that controls your differential, which controls your wheels. So as you press more power, more gas goes into the engine, and the faster the engine spins, and faster the engine spins, the faster your wheels start to spin. But we have a transmission, so let's say we're in gear 3 at about 5,000 RPMs. If we press the clutch all the way down forcefully, and then your RPMs will suddenly start redlining right about here, and they'll keep on bouncing up and down. So this brings your engine RPMs really high up, and your wheels are starting to slow down a little bit. But then the second you let go, the clutch, so the entire engine so your engine is spinning really, really fast right now because you're putting a lot of gas into the engine. And then the second you let go of the clutch, your engine will bounce up to back to your 5,000 RPMs, and then it'll suddenly drop back to redlining it, which causes your wheels to spin at a normal pace. So this starts getting your back wheels start to spin a little bit. And then, so this clutch kicking is what can initiate your drift, while e-braking can continue your drift as you're redlining it. You can press the e-brake to lower your RPMs. So that's basically how you can do drifting. So things to look out for a drift car: you always want to have it low so you have a higher speed. You kind of want to go faster on turns if you want to go bigger turns. Clutch kicking, you don't have to use the e-brake all the time. You can use clutch kicking for like smaller turns because they don't last as long. But e-braking can help you take longer drifts, much longer drifts. So again, the brake, it goes onto your wheels stop spinning, and then it starts spinning again, and then it resumes at your engine, where your engine is spinning, the engine RPMs. So an interesting thing that if you didn't know, your RPMs is not your wheel RPMs, they're engine RPMs. Probably like times 1,000 or 100. Alright, 1,000. So you have 9,000 RPM. You're rarely gonna find with 100. And this is your speedometer. This can be to your gear 3. So when you press the clutch, so people use the clutches so you can use a stick shift to change your gears on your car. So when you press the clutch, and it basically disengages your engine drive shaft to the transmission, which allows you to change gears, because if you do it in motion, your gears can get stuck easily and you can break the teeth off your gears. By teeth, it's like, a gear looks like this. And then we have other gears in those teeth. So as you shift, you're moving these gears away from it. So this is their big long pole. So you're moving the gears away, and this can break off. So this is what we call a teeth. These little pointy things. So that's the teeth of the gear. When you shift, if you shift without using the clutch, you can easily break your transmission by doing that. So that's why you always let go of the gas, press the clutch, shift your stick. You usually use a stick shift. So you move it to, let's say we're going to 4th gear now. So this is how it would normally look like. This is your stick shift. You do it first, then second, and you third, then 4th, then 5th, then 6th. And then sometimes there's a little R. You can shift it up to R. And then in the middle is neutral. So when you press the clutch, it's basically like neutral. It'll disengage everything. And so when you clutch kick, your engine RPMs, and you press the gas, your engine RPMs are going really, really fast. I'll show you how an engine works in a different video. But like a small overview, when you press the gas, it creates sparks which spin the cylinders, which make your engine move faster and faster. So that's how cars move faster and faster. When you press the gas, the engine RPM start getting really high up, and then when you shift, your engine RPM start going faster and faster and faster in different gear ratios. So that's why you can be at 5,000 RPM in 4th gear, but going up, like, let's say 150 miles per hour. Oh, that's actually kind of unreasonable. 150 is pretty high up. Since fast cars can only go about 300. So, thank you for watching. I hope this gave you a little bit more information on drifting and how it works and all of that. Thank you for watching.